Good morning, everybody, and welcome to your Quick Fix Tip of the Week. We're here today to talk to you about a transitional period of time where there's a couple things that are going to happen. So what we're talking about is that transition from summer-like conditions where the golf ball has a tendency to compress easier and the golf ball flies a little bit better in the air. As the temperatures start to drop, it gets cooler, the wind picks up a little bit, you're going to see two things. One, the golf ball doesn't like to compress quite as easily, therefore we don't get as much distance from that. And then two, the air gets a little bit cool and a little bit heavy, and that also has a tendency to decrease the amount that the golf ball wants to stay in the air. So long story short, as the temperature drops, chances are you're going to see a reduction in the distance that each of your golf clubs travels. So what does this mean? This means that there's a couple things that you need to take into account when you are looking at the distance that you are facing through the fall and through our fall season of golf here. So a couple items that I like to practice which will help you to spell that a little bit. So for instance, I've got a scenario here where we are on hole number 17. I've got about 155 yards into the green, a little bit cooler this morning, and the breeze is going to be back into us. So 150 yards for myself would traditionally be an 8-iron. What I like to do is again, you're going to do two things. You are going to club up. So where I would traditionally hit an 8-iron from this yardage, I'm going to club up and I'm going to hit a 7-iron. All right, that obviously is going to increase the distance that golf ball will travel and hopefully spell the fact that it's not going to compress and it's not going to stay in the air quite as long. The other thing that I like to do with choking with clubbing up and taking one additional club is I like to choke down on the golf club. And then the third and probably the most important thing that you want to make sure of is that you want to swing smoothly, all right? We want to smooth our swing out because what sometimes happens, especially when you're facing a shot that is into the wind, is if you swing too hard, all right, the golf ball is going to have a tendency to get up into the air a little bit more than it would. You're going to put a little bit more spin on it. And traditionally speaking, when we get the golf ball up into the air, into the wind, it's going to spin. Obviously, the ball will not go shorter. So there's, again, three factors that you're going to want to consider. One, we're going to club up. One club, if not more, depending on the scenario, how cool it is, how windy it may be. Two, you're going to choke down on that golf club. You want to control it a little bit more, okay? We want to have as much control over this golf club as possible. And third, and the most important, is that we're going to feel as though we swing smoothly, keep the flight of the ball down a little bit, and it'll penetrate through that wind a little bit easier. So it should look something like this. And there you see a nice smooth motion at it. We don't have to go very hard at it. So again, just a couple factors and a couple ideas to help you continue your success through the fall and keep this wonderful year of golf going. So for your Quick Fix Tip of the Week, this is Patrick Griffin signing off. Thanks.